Hello everyone, welcome to another Lens Studio tutorial. We're live on Twitch. Today I'm joining by Oha, my co-worker. She's an interactive engineer. Oha, do you want to just talk about yourself, what you're doing?
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Yeah.
So I'm interactive engineer, right as Amir is, and we're going to have some fun today.
Yes. So before we starting the stream, I just want to talk about what we did last week. So this last week we had something called Lens Fest. We brought more than just 100 of lens creators to Los Angeles, and we had so many talks about how to create lenses and just presentation and also just feature requests and everything. And on the last day, we also had a hackathon, which we called Lensathon. And we give so many prizes, and it was really fun. I encourage you guys to just try to join for the next year. So you can apply to become an OLC by going to the Lens Studio website and then go to the creators. And then if you wait, scroll down, and there is a form that you can just become an OLC. You click on I'm interested, you fill up all these stuff, and then submit, and we're gonna let you know that if you becoming an OLC. And there's so many benefits to becoming an OLC, so I recommend all of you guys try to become an OLC. So before we do that, actually, now we can start the project. So what are we gonna make today?
Yeah, so during this month, we've published several kind of inspiration projects. There were several steps of creating our most recent, maybe not most recent, but lens challenge. And it was a dance-off challenge. I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
So you can find all these posts on our forum and how it looks. So we had kind of lens like this, where a cute skeletal model would repeat your upper body movements and will dance with you. So we're going to create something like that right now.
Oh, that's great. It's great for Halloween too. So tomorrow is Halloween.
Pretty Halloween.
Yeah.
Catch up and make some pumpkin with heads.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, so let's start by creating a new project. I think everyone is already acquainted with our skeletal tracking. So what we're going to do, we're going to have this dancing guy on the preview. You can select him by clicking here, video, and scrolling all the way to object tracking and select skeletal here.
So is the voice getting better now? So people having a problem, if they can let us know in the chat that if it's better. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, okay, so let's add our object tracking. You can find this on the, I can just type in skeletal and add skeletal tracking. So what does skeletal tracking give us? It gives us screen positions of all the points of the human upper body. We have head, center of the head, we have neck, shoulders, elbows, and wrists. So it's kind of 2D information, but we're going to kind of trick that and control the 3D model. So I will disable all these images because we won't need them.
So skeletal tracking doesn't have rotation, like when you rotate your hand, doesn't rotate the image in it?
Yeah.
It does not?
Yeah, it does not. Okay. So you can see that all our rectangles are
But we're going to use the code to fix that problem right now.
Yeah, we're going to calculate our rotations on the fly.
That's great.
So for this project, we created a 3D model. I'll just drop it in. It can be 3D or 2D model, whatever you want. You can just create some hierarchy from even boxes, whatever, and proceed with it. So trim resources, and skeleton character. I'll just drag and drop him here, and soon it will appear on the screen.
So for you guys to already know, we just like made this character and just like texture and everything in another project, and we exported that to be faster. Instead of just like importing the FBX, you can just like import and export an object by right clicking on object and selecting, where is that, export object. And this gives you the, I think the file format is LSO, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it gives you the LSO file that you can just like drag and drop to the project. It's very convenient for just like exporting and importing stuff from a template or just like another project to another project.
And it will include all the scripts and all the resources. Everything will appear here in the same hierarchy as it was before. So it's pretty useful to share some stuff. Okay, so let's start. So the very first approach is to having those 3 control points to calculate rotations of the bone. So basically we're having parent position, start position, and end position, what gives us like kind of 2 vectors, like parent start and start end, and we'll find the angle between those 2 vectors and we'll apply this rotation onto the character rig bone. So I'll just like drop in my script and then we can go through it. Resources, complete.
So we already made the script, and after the Twitch stream, we're gonna share the project file, same as before. So we're not gonna go exactly through the script. We're just gonna go like have an overview, but we're not gonna write it. So we're gonna share it to you. You can just like, it's completely modular that you can use. But we're gonna just like try to teach how to use that script in this project.
And we will kind of develop it on the fly and show you how we're adding functionality, like analyzing what we have and adding some like functionality. So let's start from the left arm. Like to organize my script nicely, I created this like empty object, add a new empty object and a left arm controller. So then I can just drag and drop this script over here. No? What happened?
Yeah. I think you cannot, you have to add the script here. Yeah.
No, I knew that. Okay. It's on textures now, but we can easily fix it. Okay, so script has 4 parameters. Bone parameter is a field for our character bone. So we can just try to find, we'll start with upper arm. So we're going to go through the skeletal rig hierarchy and try to find our left arm.
So this is like a rigged bone on the left arm, right?
So we're having script errors now, that's why we don't see anything here.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it right? Or where's my skeleton?
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fine.
Okay, then we'll select parent, start, and end points corresponding to image I've shown you. We'll go to the orthographic camera skeletal tracking and select neck for the parent of the bone. Then we'll select shoulder, left shoulder specifically, and left elbow for for the endpoint.
Now it's working.
Yeah, see, it works. We have our like one bone of the model moving with like this guy here.
Yeah. So to clarify again, so we in the parent point and start point and the end point, we select the object tracking stuff.
Yeah,
right?
we're selecting object tracking stuff.
Okay.
Especially screen transform.
Yeah.
Screen transform component on it, so it's kind of.
Yeah, and if you go back to that image, so in here we're just moving the arm, as you can see. So arm parent in this case is a neck,
Yeah,
as
so
you can see.
you're totally right.
Yeah, and we're moving the arm, which is like here, and then the end point is gonna be the elbow, which is here. So we're finding the rotation of the arm based on these 3 points.
And for this specific case, we'll create another script. We'll just copy and paste it and make our lower arm do the same. So let's look for the lower arm.
It's good to, when you export your rig, to name it right, so you can just like easily find it by searching.
And now I have to change these variables here, but I can just like shift them up. So I will just copy this one, paste it here. And
so yeah, to the elbow, the parent bone is gonna be shoulder, and the end bone is gonna be the wrist, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Totally right.
Oof,
So now
this
we
is
have
working.
like
That's cool.
this
That's
exact
so cool.
case. Yeah, it's kind of already cool, but our movements are not like kind of smooth. They kind of
Yeah, I
shaky
can see that.
and stuff. So we could possibly add some parameters to that. So what I will do, I will just like relink this script to a new source. Go to my prepared scripts and select pawn controller V2. Yeah, something went wrong, but it should work.
Yeah, what Olha did is just like replace this script with the newer version, which has a smoothing on it. So now it just like learns the studio automatically update that script to the new one with keeping all those parameters in. So now you can see this is much more smoother.
Yeah, and maybe should we create another arm or just leave it
I
as
think
it?
it's good for
Yeah.
now. Let's see what else can we do. I want to see more magic.
Okay, next we could also add some head rotation and also add the parameter as an influence. So maybe we want to bone not to affect like straight away, but kind of use, for example, use head rotation, but not only for head, but kind of also apply some amount of that to the spine.
Oh, that would
Yeah,
be
kind of
cool.
split it in between the joint. That's how we could kind of make my skeletal more bendy. So I'll open my complete project because there are a lot of
Yeah.
parameters. I'll save this.
I can still not see the comments, like it's hiding over there. So I cannot see that. I'm just gonna, yeah, thank you guys.
Okay, so let's take a look.
Okay.
So
yeah,
we do have
it's-
like,
It's good. I can see the comments now.
straight back to skeletal. It's fine. Okay, we have just the same setup here. Arm controllers.
Oh, now you just like copy. We have like a copy to the arm as well.
Yeah, so we have a left arm. Specifically here, right arm is using not smooth movement, a left arm is using smooth movement. But yeah, so you can see the difference between them. So for the head bone, I don't have parent rotation because I have only neck tracking and head tracking. So I will just compare this vector. I need another vector to find the angle on. So I added this direction axis. So in this case, if parent point is not specified, I will just find the angle between this
that's
up vector.
nice.
Yeah. So if you change it to the right, the head will be kind of
so
kind of
funny.
weirdly rotated. So I'll check in selecting up for this case. And as you can see, I also have several controllers here for each of vertebrae. So if you disable disable them, so we can see that head kind of rotates, but it kind of separated. But if we select these scripts, it's like kind of much more alive. So, and you can like play with this influence.
Can we go crazy with the
Yeah, we can
influence?
do
I don't know.
like all the bones rotate with the
That's
head.
so funny.
Yeah. It's way too bendy.
Yeah.
I mean, he can afford that. He has no muscles to stretch.
Yeah, but this is a showcase. Like you can just like use this script and add your own creativity to it. Just like use it with something else. You don't need to use it exactly with Skeletal. You can just like use it with hand tracking and just like influence something else. So yeah, this project is just like so amazing that you can just like use it anywhere else. So also I saw it in the post, like we have a post on the Lenses Studio in here. So I saw something in here which is called IK. Can you just like talk to us about the IKs? I think everyone is really interested about knowing the IK.
Yeah, sure. So before this, we were using like the forward kinematics. So we were applying some rotation to the one joint, then to another. And now we're going to calculate those, like look at that kind of from the end. So how do we have to rotate like all the bones to make the like the end point to, for example, make some to go through some trajectory or something like that. So kind of the end position controls rotations now, not like from the hierarchy, from the top of hierarchy, but from the bottom. So basically how it works, it's also like all the triangles and stuff. So we'll, knowing where our control point is, so we kind of control this point, we'll calculate those angles from the cosine theorem. If you want to check it out, you can also always find that on Wikipedia. And yeah, that's very useful, like that's like a basic question.
That's really cool. I'm so excited about this one.
Yeah, so I like controllers. Okay, so also I have some interesting stuff here. I have these helpers here. So you can see that I have these spheres and boxes here, but they're not visible on the final render.
Oh, how did you do that?
I need them like kind of to control my movements, but
and how did you hide those spheres in the scene?
So I put these objects onto the layer, on the new layer. You can add new layer here and call it whatever. I called my helpers. And on my camera, my camera does not render helper script.
Oh,
but
cool.
if I select it here, I can see.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So anytime if you want to organize something or hide something easily, not deleting or disabling, but still being able to control.
That's a cool trick.
Yeah. So let's go through this IK controller script. So right, like on this picture, we're having these A, B, and C points. So in this case, our A point is going to be the start of this hip bone, not hip bone, but thigh. Then point B is going to be our knee. Point C is going to be our ankle. So we're not using skeletal tracking here. We're going to move this AK handle. So we're going to move the sphere and to control the object back. Yeah, let's disable this hip twin and try to see how it looks.
So for the object that it was A, B, C is like A is the parent and B is the middle point and C is the child object, like a main child object.
Yes.
So inverse kinematic is moving the object based on the children to the parents. Like forward kinematic is from parent to children. But in this case, like you can see, we're using inverse kinematic to just like move the whole leg with just like only the foot of the skeleton.
I just found like not much in brackets here, somewhere here. Don't know where we can.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
we can fix it later.
But can you again show the IK? How does it work? Like, can you move the hip?
Yeah,
and
let's try to move our pelvis bone. So yeah, if I move it, my legs stay at the floor. Of course, if I move them far away,
so cool.
So there will be always kind of pointing to these two spheres. And yeah, and rotations will be calculated correspondingly. So this approach are kind of very straightforward. In case if you have like a long AK chains, it becomes more harder to calculate all the rotations, and there are like another methods for that. But for this case, the specific mathematics kind of works in for JavaScript specifically.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an easy way to add some life to your character. And we can do something also, even play further and do something like add twin to the hip. So it's kind of dancing.
Oh,
or
that's cool.
we can use hand movement to control his hip. So what I'm going to do, So I used head binding to get the rotation of the head, and I used kind of that the rotation to make hip offset to the opposite direction. To kind of, that's why the skeletal kind of feels balanced, because if he swings his back like right, his hip moves left.
So it's moving using the head binding, right?
Yeah, we can.
Can we go to the camera? I wanna try it.
Yeah, and but tracking won't work because the best distance for the skeletal tracking is.
Yeah, you can see the leg is moving. Can we add more influence to it? Just like make it move more than that, or is it not made for that?
You can make offset bigger here.
Yeah, can we try to just like add offset like 10? I wanna.
Yeah, so he's gonna shake his butt.
That's so funny. I wanna see.
Yeah, it's kind of puppet.
Yeah, I wanna go crazy with the number and then try it on myself. Oh, that's so funny. I really like it. This is so funny.
I'm glad you like that.
Yeah. And can you, so for the IK and for the bone controller, can you just like give us the overview, like how does the scripting work for people who are interested in coding?
Let's take a look like from the very first approach. So
oh, it's not a huge script.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just like
that's the very first one we used.
Yeah.
So we're calculating the angle between 3 points, basically. So we're getting those 3 positions. I will like show you that we're not taking world position because we're having this screen transform component, which has like this position property. So we can just use it. For this case, then I'm having 3 points. I'm building 2 vectors, like subtracting the end position, start position from the end position, and I'm normalizing those vectors. Then I'm not using like the function like angle between vectors because it returns me only the absolute value, and I still need to know where should I apply this angle. That's why I'm kind of using just sinus and cosinus, like dot and cross product, to calculate sinus and cosinus, and I'm taking a term function from that. It's everything like very easy. You can
and
also
is
check.
it hard to just like smooth that? Like when you add this smoothing to it, was it just like too much code adding this smoothing?
No, it's not too much code. So we just added several lines of code. We're calculating the target rotation, multiplying start rotation by rotation, basically, using quaternions. And we're not applying it right away, but we're calculating the slurp position, like kind of intermediate position between that, using smoothing coefficient. And then we're applying this.
Oh, that's nice. So we just like slurp, it's smooth, right?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we added some influence. So here we used another slurp to calculate like how much I'm going to take from this quaternion, and I think I'm not using the script. And then like slurping it right away.
Yeah.
And what we're doing here, so here I'm taking this. So this is the case when I don't have the parent. So I'm taking the start direction specified, and I'm calculating not the relative, but like absolute angles.
Yeah.
So just the angle between those 2 vectors.
Yeah, even this one is not that crazy.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah, and also I added
yeah.
this function, like get tracking function, that would check on all the points I'm using, 2 or 3, depending how many I'm using, and I'm defining this is tracking function here.
Cool.
Right
Can
here.
be. Oh, I
So
see.
I
That's
can
cool.
check, like not checking it going through all of them. I'm just like calling this like already
see.
built for me function and checking if everything is tracking. And if it's not tracking, I'm coming back to my start rotation here. So I'm checking if pawn is tracking. If yes, I'll take the rotation. If not, I'll go back to the start rotation.
Cool.
Again, smoothing, again, like setting rotation.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty straightforward. It's not the ground truth and not maybe the most optimized script ever, but yeah, you feel free to optimize it and reuse that.
And can you show the IK project also? I really like that project. So we're gonna share this project too. So it's the same script that we just like showed earlier, but it also has like a graphical representation of just like how does it work, and I really liked it.
Yeah, so we have this leg here, and we have this pole. Pole is mostly used for calculating where should I
flip the
where should
cool.
My drag script is not very well.
Yeah, but this is really cool.
Yeah, you can do whatever. I was thinking about like some stuff attached to your head, and you can move, and it kind of moves like with you.
And you can just like create the mechanical machine and also procedural animation with this script.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the fancy boards.
Yeah, so here you can just drag and drop all the controls and make the dancing guy. And also can try to select.
Oh, that's so awesome. You can pose that guy?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I want to select his little hip. Pelvis and do something like this.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Looks like a Spider-Man, just like sticking to the...
You can make him climb. You can also apply any twins on these control objects and like go crazy.
That's so awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I think this is all for this stream. We're definitely gonna share the project, I think, tomorrow. Just check on the website. We have like if we go here, if you go to the Lens Studio forum, and if you search for Twitch, it should come up. Oh, Twitch.
Maybe
I'm gonna search. Okay, previously on Twitch stream. So we have a post that Travis made, and we're constantly updating this with all the project files and
That's
everything. Yeah, that's a lot. And we're gonna keep adding to this stuff. And so before we just like saying goodbye, I'm just gonna show you my magic. Like we figure out that just like I'm gonna hide my face. I don't know if it's working. Like I'm just like hiding my face, and have a very good day. Bye.